Hi there, I'm Karen Marie, and this is Psyched Up for Sunday, March 14th, 2021. So, for those of you that don't know me, I'm a professional psychic, channel, medium, empath, primarily using tarot and astrology to do my work. I've been a professional psychic since 1988, so that's 33 years as I'm recording this now. And I do private readings for people. I do parties, do past life regressions, rebirthing, psychic development instruction, both psychic development instruction, both for private individuals and in groups. In fact, I've been guided to start a class, a 4-week class, psychic development class starting in April. I'm thinking Sunday afternoons. So let me know if you're interested and if what days and times work for you. And I could even be willing to put on more than one class if I get enough interest. So I'll be putting my email address and my website, which is psychedupmovement.com, underneath this video. So if you're interested, drop me a note. Let me know you're interested. It will be affordable, a lot more so than my private instruction is. So that's that. So today I'm going to talk about the transits. I'm going to pull up the United States birth chart and use that as a visual. So I'm going to try this for the first time today on this video because I've had a lot of people giving me feedback they don't really understand the transits or what I'm talking about. So I'm thinking maybe if you see a visual, it might be helpful in digesting the information a bit. So I'll be going off screen and pulling up my United States America chart and transits. Of course, that's not just for those born in the United States. The transits apply to everyone. It's just going to be a visual tool to help me describe what's going on and to give you some help in visualizing it. And then I'm going to do mini readings for all 12 signs, and I will be putting the timestamp below this video. When I first published it, they may not be there. So if you're one of those that watches this video as soon as I put it out there, you may not see the timestamps, but by this time tomorrow, they will definitely all be there. So you can fast forward to your sign by looking at the timestamps for the mini readings that I'll do at the end of this. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. And there we go. See how this works. Okay, so what I have pulled up here is the chart of the United States of America. Now I use a whole signs chart, house system. There's dozens of different house systems. So the whole sign puts things neatly in each house because I channel with the chart. This is my interpretation of the planets and the signs and the aspects with each other. So I have that the United States of America was born on Thursday, the 4th of July in 1776 at 5:10 p.m. in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So that's the time I use. So in this inner circle here is the birth chart of the United States and where all the planets were when the United States was born. On the outside here is the transiting planets in green, where they are right now in the skies as I record this video. So we'll start with the sun. The sun is at 24 degrees of Pisces. Right next to the sun is Venus, which is at 21 degrees, and Neptune, which is at 20 degrees right now. So they're all conjunct each other, a stellium together here in the skies. We also have Pallas Athena down here in the early degrees of Pisces. I'm going to speak mostly here of these three today, though. So the sun illuminates things. It brings our attention to wherever it is in the chart. And so right now it's bringing the attention to Pisces. Now, Pisces rules the 12th house in astrology. So this is the 12th house here. It's the house of the psychic. It's spiritual. It's the unconscious, the subconscious. It's our deep karma, our past life karma, our karmic issues. It's also the house of institutions and jails and the hidden, the deep secrets. It's also the house of hidden enemies. These are people who talk about you and stab you behind the back. So the sun here illuminating this house of Pisces. I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but I have been exhausted when as the sun has been transiting Pisces now for over 3 weeks. I just like almost every day I'm dragging myself through space and having to take naps virtually every day and going into deep, deep sleep. I mean, sometimes 3-hour naps. So it's like the sun is pulling me into this deep psychic spiritual place. I feel like I'm processing on a deep level. And so if you've been also doing this, you're not cray cray, there's a reason. And by the end of this week on Saturday, the sun will be moving into Aries. So we will all be feeling a shift of our energies as the sun moves into Aries later this week. But it's going to be moving through the last degrees of Pisces. So when planets are moving through the last degrees of a sign, it starts wrapping up the lessons that it was teaching of this sign. So as the sun has been transiting Pisces, it's been teaching us about our karmic issues. What kind of karmic patterns have you noticed over the last 3 weeks? If you've been paying attention, the sun will have brought to your attention deeply stored karmic patterns, these ruts that we get into over and over and over again. Um, the things that just seem to be cycling again and again, like, why am I experiencing this again? Why is this coming up again? It's also the house of past lives. So we can experience past life karma, people that we've known from past lives, karmic issues we've had from the past have been brought to the light, right? The sun is illuminating, bringing to light these deeply held things that could normally be in our subconscious or unconscious. Pisces, I also believe, is the wounded healer. So it can be brought to the surface places where we've been wounded and illuminating these places where we're triggered or deeply held issues. It's also can be the house of addiction, um, especially with Neptune there. Neptune, on a positive end, represents the psychic radar. It's our spiritual downloading system. It's our ability to access the divine and have spiritual insights, have vivid dreams revealed. Those are the positives of Neptune. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. So it is in its most powerful, most potent form in Pisces. The downside of Neptune is illusion, delusion, addiction, conspiracy thinking, just being dragged into um, things that can make you go cray cray, addictive patterns, right? So the Venus is what we love, who we love. It's our relationships, it's our passions, it's how we receive energy. So these are all together. It's been very powerful, very potent. Um, and I think is one of the reasons why I've just felt like sleeping a lot. Like, let it be worked out in my deep unconscious, please. Past life patterns, karmic patterns. So with everybody, there's a tendency to have our addictive patterns being brought to the surface. Are we seeing the sun, our addictive patterns, and changing? Are we loving ourselves? Venus represents self-love and love for other people. But how are we loving ourselves? Are we plugging into our highest spiritual nature? Are we listening to our intuition? Are we letting ourselves have spiritual revolutions? Are we listening to our intuition to guide us? I believe everyone is psychic. We all have intuitive abilities. For some of us, the volume is turned up extra loud. Other people's volume is just turned down or turned off. Everyone can develop and enhance their psychic abilities. With these planets in this psychic sign, psychic abilities can be extra strong. Like it can be hard to ignore psychic intuition with this stellium here together, right? All right, so the sun here is going to be wrapping up the lessons of Pisces. When it gets to 29 degrees of Pisces, which it will do on when do I have this moving in? Let me get to the right page here. So Friday is the last day that the sun will be in Pisces. So expect the final exam of Pisces to be held this week and being tested on lots of levels, with the big exam being Friday. And then on Saturday, we'll see if we've passed the test or not. We'll get our results back. But this is that it can be like just a crazy period of psychic downloads and spiritual downloads and vivid dreams this week, and people from our past lives coming in, so that should be very interesting on that front. So these are just in general. This is all happening in the United States, has Pisces in its fourth house, right? So this is the house of home, of family. So these deep insights and revelations for the United States really are taking place inside everybody's individual homes, right? It's how I would interpret that. So what else do we have going on? Mercury right now is at 28 degrees of Aquarius. Jupiter is at 19 degrees and Saturn is at 9 as I'm recording this. So we have a stellium in Aquarius as well. These 3 planets in Aquarius. What does Aquarius represent? It's usually the 11th house in the zodiac. It's the house of networks and groups and connections with other people and how we all interact with each other in groups and families and our circle of friends and such. It's humanity. So Saturn there is our rule maker. It's how we form things. It's how we grab our energies and put them into boundaries. It's our stop sign. It's where we say no. It's the taskmaster. It's our teacher. It's the guru, the older spiritual people that we learn from as well. So Saturn in Aquarius, it's been moving through these first 9 degrees is considered the first decan. So as Saturn has moved since it moved into Aquarius in December, so since December, we've been learning about how to restructure, balance out, put energies around our personal time, how we organize our time, how we structure our lives, our habits, our routines. This is all basically the early degrees of Saturn, is how we restructure our time with ourselves primarily. It's going to be moving into the second decan. It will move up to 10 degrees this week. That happens on Tuesday. And so it'll enter into the second decan of Aquarius, which is more about our interactions with other people, how we structure our time with other people, our boundaries with other people. And then the third decan, where Jupiter will move into, Jupiter's at 19, it's going to move up to 20 degrees. They both do this on the same day, on Tuesday this week. They both change up to agree and move up to the next decan. So Jupiter expands things. It's our knowledge. It brings a beneficent kiss, really. And so this is how we are thinking about our future. It's bringing knowledge and information about how we're going to be putting energy into everyone, our future, what we love, what we're passionate about as a group, the collective. Mercury is already at these last degrees. And actually, I believe that Mercury changes into Pisces, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check my notes. I believe that happens also on Tuesday. We've got a lot shifting all on the same day, which is super powerful. Tuesday's definitely the biggest day this week, Friday being right behind it. So Mercury right now is conjunct the United States moon at 27 degrees. So Mercury's at 28. So it's about, the moon for anyone is about our intuition, our feelings. So if America could have feelings and psychic abilities, it's tuned into humanity, to everyone. Aquarius is the 2 wavy lines, how we all vibe together. So America at its strongest is very intuitive. I would say the moon in Aquarius is a very intuitive placement. Both Aquarius and Pisces are psychic, very psychic signs. And so with all these planets in these two signs, it really heightens intuition for everyone. Mercury is how we communicate. The moon is intuition. So there's going to be a lot of psychic communication within people inside America, like getting hits on things intuitively. So this also adds to what I was already talking about, the psychic abilities here, psychic intuition. Jupiter expands things. So this is Pallas Athena. Pallas Athena is an asteroid that represents our strategy. It's like a healing energy. It's at 26 degrees. So it's conjunct the United States moon at 27. So I would feel like intuitively one of the reasons that we formed this country was to use our intuition in making strategies, listening to our inner voices and how we figure things out, not just always figure things out with our head, but listening to our gut, listening to the intuition. I also see this almost like a nurse's hat. I see Pallas as a healing energy. So communicating, healing. The third house is the house of communication. Our Pholus is also here. Pholus is an asteroid that represents how we initiate things, how we get things started. So how do we initiate, get things started a lot? It is through our communication, third house. It's also, third house is ruled by Gemini. So it's our media, it's our communication systems of all kinds, whether that's over the telephone or over the internet, or if we're writing letters, if we're putting things in books, this is how we communicate. So this is also how we shoot ourselves in the foot. Pholus is, right? We can like get ourselves in trouble. How do United States get ourselves in trouble? By what we're saying to other countries, how we're speaking, how we're communicating with each other and with other nations. This is the South Node. It's also at 6. Interesting, these two are together. So South Node in anyone's birth chart represents our past life karma, the karma that we've brought into it. So the karma around communication, third house, would be not being able to communicate, not being able to get along. That's sort of a past life karma that and setting sparks, like blowing up around communication. I would put these two together. So this is a powerful, potent karmic pattern. It's here in Aquarius. So it's there's just a lot of Aquarian energy. The vibe of how we all get along with each other is a basis in the United States, right? United States sun is in Cancer here. It's at 13 degrees of Cancer in the 8th house. The 8th house is the house that's ruled by Scorpio. It's death and transformation. It's also super psychic. Cancer is a healing sign, the sign of healer, the nurturer. So here the sun at 13 degrees. So the 1 is I love, and the 3 is I think. Together it's a 4, which is a breakdown, breakthrough. It's a I believe, but it's a breakdown, breakthrough energy. So anything that has a 4 or makes to a 4 it's like you love it or you hate it. And I think that's how America comes across to the rest of the world. People love America or love Americans, or they hate them. Like, we don't really come across as neutral. But it's also the house of the channel, which to me means when we're listening to our intuition, which is the moon is also people, the population. So when we're listening to the people, how everyone's vibing, if we're listening to everyone, humanity, we're going to be serving everyone the best, right? That's one of the things I see that America was formed to break through, and also to be a channel, be a conduit of healing to the world, really. And bringing, the channel is those of us that are delivering messages from the divine, from higher self. We're in God we trust is on our money, right? So and even if you don't believe in a Christian God, I believe that there's a higher power, a source energy that's behind all channeled information. I do my channeling. What am I channeling? I'm channeling from from source, from divine energy. I'm not just plugged into just anything out there. The United States is plugged into the great beyond. So when we're aligned and united together and communicating well with each other, we are the most powerful. Jupiter here at 5 degrees, expanding things. 5 degrees is it rules the head. It's what we're thinking, and so it's a Mercury ruled energy. So we expand this healing energy, like we can expand it all across. Jupiter makes things bigger. So the Jupiter here in the United States chart, we can impact healing in a big way around to the world. We can channel messages that are delivered to the entire world. And the Jupiter's conjunct United States Venus here at 3 degrees. So they're 2 degrees apart. So what we love is expanded here. Like when we love ourselves only, that gets expanded. When we love the planet, that gets expanded. When we love our pocketbook, then that's what is focused on, right? So Jupiter's expanding what we love here in the United States. And then our Mercury is also in Cancer. So we're very Cancerian here in the United States. This is how we communicate with others. It's also, if this was a person's birth chart, I would say this person is supposed to be channeling what they love, what they're supposed to be healing, doing healing energy, downloading through our communication systems, how to help the whole planet. So United States is really here to help the entire planet, not just the people within our country, right? So our rising sign here is in Sag at 12 degrees. So this is where fiery, right? This Sag it rules the 9th house, which is the house of higher learning, spiritual understanding, further education, foreign travel. So that's interesting that the house where our rising sign is, or the sign where our rising sign is in the United States, is actually a sign that makes us want to interact with the rest of the world here, foreign travel, and connect with other people. Our North Node is at 6 degrees here in the 9th house. So North Node represents in a birth chart what we came in to learn, where one of our points of direction is. So one of the things United States was set on learning was to develop our mind, to learn new things, to grow spiritually, to grow in knowledge, to interact, and to be a beacon to the rest of the world. Once again, this international theme here. Okay, so the South Node right now is at 14 degrees. So this is our collective past life karma. North Node is our collective focus, like what we're supposed to be learning right now. So, and the nodes move counterclockwise, where all the rest of the planets right now are direct. So they're all moving this way, except the North and the South nodes. These are just points of reference. This is not an actual planet, but it is our collective focus. So our collective focus on the planet right now is in Gemini. All right. For the United States, this is the 7th house. It represents the house of relationships of all kinds. Our Mars is here at 21 degrees. How we take action is in relationships. This is Uranus at 8 degrees, which is exactly where the United States, the transiting Uranus is in Taurus right now at 8 degrees. So interestingly, the United States is at 8 degrees, the transiting Uranus is at 8 degrees here in Taurus. So there's a strong activation of the United States Uranus. So what is Uranus? Uranus is sudden, unexpected things. It's the higher octave of Mercury. So it rules higher technology, higher communications, transportations. It's sudden, unexpected things. It's curveballs coming out of nowhere, wreaking havoc. Right now, the transiting Mars is at 6 degrees of Gemini. So it is conjunct the United States Uranus here in Gemini, which rules communication, the media, transportation, all that. So I'm expecting this week, and Mars will actually conjoin the North Node this week. When I get to the day by day, I'll reel that out. But so Mars will be moving pretty quickly this week and conjoining the North Node. So there's Mars will be going over the United States Uranus. So sudden, unexpected things in terms of relationships with other people, relationships with other countries. So the seventh house, where the 12th house is the house of hidden enemies, the seventh house is the house of enemies that you can see, people that'll tell you to your face, I can't stand you. Mars is the god of war. It's also how we take energy personally. It's our ego. And so we've got here our ego connected to our relationships with other people, how we take action, what we do affects everyone, the seventh house. And then we're at the head of things, our energy, taking action, putting all our energy into communication, right? Gemini's the twins. It's Jekyll Hyde. It's duplicity. It's being up in our heads, overthinking things. So Mars energy here, the North Node energy here, is causing everyone on the planet to focus on thinking things. Like we can go a little bit cray cray with everybody's focused in Gemini and not knowing who to believe, what to believe, seeing two sides of everything. The media comes out on both sides of everything, dualistic energy. With Mars here on top of the United States Uranus, though, this week, I'm expecting something explosive happening with relationships. This could be happening in Congress, it could be happening with relationships with other countries, but I'm expecting a real explosive, something coming out of nowhere, something that might show up in the media, like, wow, can't believe that kind of news that might show up. Sudden, unexpected, surprising news stories, right? Uranus is surprising, sudden, unexpected. It's here in Taurus. Taurus rules the second house. Second house is the house of our food. It's our finances, how we make money, how we store our food, how we store our money, how we grow things. So it represents finances. So there could be sudden, unexpected things, Taurus, in finances. The sixth house, which is where the United States has its Taurus, is the house of service to others. It's daily groove. It's work. It's our health and how we heal things. So there could be sudden, unexpected things that, and it doesn't necessarily have to be negative. Sudden, unexpected things could be positive. It's just out of nowhere things. So we could have surprising news around vaccinations. That's one of the things that would be, health, service, people, maybe will turn a corner with vaccinations this week or something. That could be happening. Surprising, unexpected things that affect the economy, though. Taurus, second house, could be affecting the economy of the United States this week. Okay, so we're having a Pluto return. The United States Pluto is at 27 degrees of Capricorn in this second house. Pluto is death and transformation. It's power and control. Capricorn is an earth sign. It's how we naturally, our natural leadership. So Pluto, our United States, is naturally leading the rest of the world. It's in later degrees. So we're an sort of an expert on the globe, or people look to the United States to be the experts in a lot of things. But this is also power and control issues. Pluto and Capricorn, we have the transiting Pluto right now is at 26 degrees of Capricorn. So it's 1 degree off. Before it actually reaches 27 degrees, though, it's going to go retrograde. In fact, Pluto goes retrograde, I believe it's at the end of April. And so it'll go backwards a little. So it's doing this dance around the United States, but it's conjunct 1 degree off. We're feeling this Pluto return. So power and control, matching up with power and control, death and transformation meets death and transformation. And so again, this is in our second house in the United States. So it could be death and transformation in our food system, in our financial markets, in power and controls. So what was going on when the United States was formed, and who had the power and control? White men had the power and control, right? When the United States was formed. Women, children, minorities, no power, no control. We're changing this energy. We've got karma here that's represented to everyone here. We formed this country with the South Node in Aquarius, so we're supposed to be meeting everyone's needs, which is where Pluto's gonna be going. By 2024, Pluto moves into Aquarius and begins its long transit of Aquarius, where they'll be transforming things that affect all of humanity. Also transforming our communications and our technologies, our transportations, all those things will be transformed when Pluto gets here in Aquarius. But right now we're wrapping up these lessons of power and control, power over. Who has the power and control in this society? People with the most money and the older white men. This paradigm is coming to a close. We're wrapping up these lessons. We're moving into completely different stories. So we can begin to see the collapse of these power paradigms all over the place. They've already begun. They started beginning last year as Pluto was approaching this Pluto return. And we're going to be continuing to see these over the next several years where there's been power and control. These things are going to be falling down. Saturn is helping us restructure right now our energy into things that benefit everyone. Jupiter here too is bringing benefits to all of humanity. It's also bringing an emphasis on our communications. How we talk to each other is important. It's interesting here with the Gemini North Node, there's also this is trining and energy here of really trying, can we get along here? Can we all work together? Can we pull together? Or is this Mars? Are we going to go to war with each other? Are we going to have verbal warfare going on? Explosions of calling people out. So Pluto has been square Aries here for a while. Aries is a goddess. She was Aries' sister. She represents empowerment and standing up for yourselves, standing up for ourselves. The United States has Aries. Where is United States Aries? I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is, in Capricorn here. So again, it's power and control. Screw the rest of the world. We're the only ones that matter. This in Aries right now, Eris in Aries is firing up protest because it's squaring this Pluto energy. And so death and transformation squaring off with standing up for the rights. The story behind Eris is that she wasn't invited to a wedding, and she's let everybody know how pissed off she was about it. I should have been invited. She was also on the front lines on the battlefield, ready to go to war. And so this empowerment energy here is fired up, and it's conjunct the United States Chiron. This is the wounded healer. So this is where we've been wounded in past lives in our natal charts. and where its glyph looks like a key, right? So where Chiron is where we're working to heal a wound. So the United States has Chiron at 20 degrees in the fifth house. This fifth house is the house of creativity, of sexuality, of children. So we have a lot of hidden wounding, I would say, in this whole child pederism, like not having respect for children. The 20 is I feel and holding space for, like we haven't held space for children. Like when I was a child, children had no power, no voice. So it's one of the things that we're healing in the United States right now is this energy here. The transiting Chiron is at 8 degrees of Aries right now. It just went up to 8 degrees in the last day. So we've been healing for everyone. Aries represents our individual ego self. It's the first sign of the zodiac. So Chiron has been helping us heal how we feel about ourselves. At 8 degrees, it's about how we make decisions. Do we listen to ourselves? Do we take action to heal based on our own inner guidance? The moon is in Aries right now. It's at 13 degrees of Aries as I record this. It'll be moving up through Aries tomorrow. And then it moves into Taurus for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then, so the moon will be crossing over Uranus, sudden unexpected things, be crossing over Black Lilith, which represents our deepest fears, where we've had fears from past life that show up for us to challenge those. United States has Black Lilith here at 19 degrees in Virgo in the 10th house. The 10th house is our mission in the world, what we're supposed to be doing here. So we've got fears collectively in our sense of mission. What is our mission? We can be confused about that. Our mission is to channel healing and help the whole planet. We can have fears about, well, what about just us? We need to take care of ourselves. We don't need to take care of others. Neptune here, United States Neptune is at 22 degrees here. Listening, our psychic radar turned up strong. I feel some more. United States can feel out and be helping using our intuition, collective intuition, to help everyone, or we can be caught up in delusion, illusion. Virgo is also ruled by Mercury, caught up into intellectual thinking that can block the intuition. For everyone, I feel like it is our mind that can most get in the way of our intuition, of listening to ourselves, right? And it's also this breakdown, breakthrough energy here. So we can come across delusional to other people. Americans are crazy, or oh, they've just really got it together there. We have this fear thing attached to psychic things too, spiritual things. There can be fear of the psychic, the things that we can't see with our brain, with our mind here, intuition. We can also be caught up in addiction here and have that pull us off track, our fears and our delusion and our illusions that can affect our brain here, Virgo, affect our thinking, and can pull us completely off track and block us from fulfilling our personal missions as Americans. That's just one way how I would interpret that. Okay, so the nodes here are at 14 degrees, but they move to 13 tomorrow on Monday. So that is a breakdown, breakthrough energy. So again, the nodes, the north node here is in Gemini. So again, I would really expect some crazy headlines this week. Sudden, unexpected, out of nowhere, especially with Mars there, and the moon is going to be crossing Mars and the North Node on Friday. They're all going to be together. The Mars will be up here with the North Node, and the moon will cross both of them. So there can be really crazy, unexpected news headlines on Friday as well. But really, anytime this week it can happen. My feeling is, I mean, they can be crazy headlines anytime the North Node is in Gemini, but the fact that they're moving to 14, 13 degrees, um, which makes into a 4, which is the breakdown, breakthrough. It can also be shaking up how you think about things, and then here what you believe to be true. And interestingly, here we're moving closer to the United States rising sign here with the South Node. So there's this collective karmic reckoning here with the United States. Um, are we listening to people from other places, other situations, other nations? The I just feel like there could be like an explosion connection. Of course, we've got the back and forth with Syria going on. So I don't know if that's going to be getting even worse this week, but I just feel like there can be some karma connected to people we may have pissed off as a collective nation. Um, is just kind of what I'm getting psychically with that right now. The United States Saturn is in Libra at 14 degrees. Our midheaven is 1 degree of Libra. So this is all of us working together. We're supposed to be all working together here, 11th house, working as unified where everyone matters. That's one of the things that one of the goals of midheaven is one of our directional points. What am I supposed to be doing here? What am I like? The North Node is one of the things that's where what we're learning. This is where we're supposed to be headed. 10th house is our mission. And that's for everybody. Okay, so let me just look at my notes here. So the sun will be moving to 25 degrees tomorrow on Monday, which is a very spiritual degree mixed with 7 in a spiritual sign. So Monday is a great day to get downloads, to get insights, to have these aha moments can really come Monday. I feel like it's a great time for downloads. The sun is conjunct Venus already. So right now, they're 3 degrees apart. Again, anything within 7 degrees is considered technically conjunct. And then the closer the degrees, the more you can feel it. So the sun is illuminating the Venus energy. So that is illuminating relationships. It's intensifying and heightening everyone's relationship, your relationships primarily with yourself. How are you loving you? How are you loving the people around you? What do you love? Who do you love? Are you putting energies into the things you love? Are you treating yourself lovingly? These two are going to be conjunct for the next month. They become exact on March 26th, which is, by the way, my birthday. So that is an interesting sweet kiss that I feel like I'll have personally for my birthday is the exact conjunction of Venus and the sun, but they're going to be traveling together for a month. So this is also a highlighting not only relationships, but particularly relationships are going to be highlighted for everyone right now. It's a sweet kiss time. Relationships should really be at their best. You can find a partner during this time if you're single. You can bring out the best in the relationships you're currently in. Venus is also represents the arts and creativity. So there can be an illuminated energy around creativity, like you've been wanting to write that book. You may find yourself just diving into that, write that piece of music, paint that painting, create that dance, write that screenplay. Like all those kind of creative energies can be highlighted, even practicing your instruments, redecorating your house. All these things can be emphasized for the next month with these two, Venus and the sun conjunct. So that's a really sweet, beautiful energy. Venus is love, it's harmony, it's peace. And so I feel like there's extra focus on that. But with this North Node and Gemini stuff, the peace might actually be challenged too, because there's a square off of this energy. It's a loose square right now, but the Mars energy, I don't know, the Mars conjuncting the North Node here, I just feel like can make everything kind of pissy. So we do have this beautiful backdrop of love and harmony, and then going on as well with the Gemini energy here in Mars and the North Node. On Tuesday, the sun moves to 26 degrees, which makes to an 8, which is all about making a commitment, making a decision. This is what I'm going to do. The moon is in Taurus, so it can really represent our focus on our finances. Also, Taurus is how we value ourselves. Who do we value? What do we value? So when the moon goes through Taurus, we can have our attention on what we value, who we value. The sun will sextile Pluto, all right? So the Pluto is it here at 26 degrees, sun here, sextile, which is like 2 planets apart. This is a positive aspect where square can be a challenge. A sextile it brings out the best. So it can bring the best out of transformation, empowerment, right? So it can bring, like, if you've been wanting to shift something, change something, make a difference, the sun sextiling Pluto can help bring about a sweet transformation, success at a transformation. It can be success around having old power structures start to crumble too. They can begin to shake, rattle, and roll. This is such a powerful day with the sun sextiling Pluto. This is also the day that Saturn moves to step 10, Jupiter moves to step 20. There's just a changing, of course, Mercury moves into Pisces this day. So anytime there's any one of these changes, you can feel it. With all these changes on the same day, there is something phenomenal that I feel like is going to happen. It could be something around how we set boundaries to power control. I wrote down in my notes, I feel the earth move under my feet. There's like a challenge here. Like you can feel something shaking to its core. Something you once had power control over you can be like, no more. Are you going to let this person, this situation, this thing control you? You're going to stand up and feel empowered yourself on this day, perhaps. Mercury moving into Pisces, the planet of communication moving into Pisces. This is it adds emphasis to this psychic spiritual energy. And then we'll have like 4 planets and then the asteroid Pallas Athena in this Pisces energy as well. So we'll have this larger stellium in Pisces continuing the theme this week of what is our karmic patterns? Why are we do these same things over and over and again? I feel like with the sun sextiling Pluto, it's an opportunity to transform how we've always done things. Like this is a day we can make a decision about making some changes and doing things in a different way. The moon will be crossing Black Lilith on Wednesday. So here we'll be on Taurus. The moon will also go over Uranus on this same day on Tuesday to back it up. So that's another feeling things shift and shake. We could really have like earth changes because Taurus rules the earth. So we could have earthquakes, volcanic action, surprise earth events this week too, with the moon crossing Uranus. And then the moon will cross over Black Lilith on Wednesday, heightening fears, or whatever you may be most afraid of. It can be you can make a decision on something make all these changes on Tuesday. I'm going to do this. And then Wednesday, the fear comes up in wake of those. Oh my God, did I really say I would do this? It's kind of like you start off like, I'm going to put the alcohol down. I'm going to not do sugar anymore. I'm going to exercise every day. I'm going to file that lawsuit, whatever. And then the next day you're like, what did I say I would do? Am I really going to do this? So you could find yourself feeling wiggy with the moon crossing Black Lilith on Wednesday. It's also St. Patrick's Day. So happy St. Patrick's Day early. And then Thursday, Venus will sextile Pluto. So again, this is a sweet kiss aspect. So empowerment in our relationships and what we love in these creative projects. We can really changes in your heart. You can like have transformation of your heart happen in a positive way. I mean, death and transformation is the death of something and the rebirth of something else. But the moon's in Gemini will be moving into Gemini this day too, as Venus is sextiling Pluto. So there can be this energy of transforming how we've been thinking about who we love. That's how I would interpret that. And then on Friday is when the sun is on its last degree of Pisces. The moon is going to be crossing Mars and the North Node. Mars will be up here with the North Node. The moon will cross that. With this in the last degree, the sun in the last degree of Pisces, I feel like Friday could be a wiggy day too, where we just felt like unexpected things, surprising things, this breakthrough energy because of where the North Node is going to be at. And Mars, the god of war, right there on it. And yeah, it could be dicey on Friday. Doesn't have to be. I'm just throwing it out there. And again, this is happening in the United States, seventh house, which is our house of relationships with others, with ourselves, with each other. So there could be an explosive energy within our own country, with citizens or with other nations this week, with really anytime as Mars is transiting the seventh house. It can be dicey. Interesting, the serious stuff started after Mars bopped into Gemini, which is America's seventh house. All right, and then on Saturday the sun moves into Aries. It'll be at 0 degrees. Anything at 0 degrees can feel kind of wiggy. You're holding space for something new. So Saturn at 10 degrees that it's moving to on this week, like we can feel weird with that energy. Jupiter moving to 20 degrees, it's going to have that 0 energy. So we've got this kind of what's coming? What are we going to be? What do we need to hold space for? Our connection with spirit, our listening to our own intuition, so we know how to be guided based on the intuition, because we will not know what to trust or who to trust or what to think about things. So if we're up in our head, we can feel like, oh my God, I don't know. But if we're listening intuition, we should get very clear downloads because of all the strong psychic energy here going on this week. Okay, those are the major things that I feel called to talk about this week. Okay, hi, I'm back. Hopefully that was having the visual was helpful. You can let me know if you like that, don't like that. All right, so now I'm going to move into looking at the cards for each sign. I'm not going to be getting this out till Monday. I'm sorry it's so late. It's just Sunday evenings are like the best time for me to, I always like to record on it Sunday. So this is being recorded on Sunday, but the later I wait to record, the less the frenetic energy is out and the easier it is for me to channel. But I'm going to work on trying to record these earlier on Sundays, so I'm not getting them out so late, but hopefully you appreciate that I'm getting them out at all. All right, so I'm going to do mini readings. I think I'm just going to do 1 card readings today on each sign. Just 1 card representing each sign. And this is for your sun, your moon, your rising, or if you have a stellium, which is 3 or more planets in the sign. So we're going to start with Aries. All right, so Aries, what do you guys need to know for this week? Or whenever you're watching this video, if you don't watch this video during the week that I record it, you're watching it afterwards, you can know that there's a message for you here. All right, and that's going to be true for all my videos, but all right, so Aries, what do you guys need to know the most And like I said, if your sun, moon, and Aries, sun, moon, and rising are 3 different signs, you want to listen to all 3 of the signs and you can kind of put together your energy. Got the stress card here, Aries. So this is like the energy of someone, something just kind of wanting to knock you down, knock you off how you're balancing, juggling too many things at once, not knowing what or how to focus on. So the energy that I'm really being drawn to, Aries, is this light behind this scene going on with the monkey trying to pop the balloon you're standing on. You want to stand on the firm ground. And this, I'm seeing these balloons also as like air, just, just being ungrounded. So Aries, you guys need to ground to help with your stress level. Start the day feeling grounded. Start the day with breath work. Start the day with a walk, putting your feet on the earth, getting out and working in the garden this week, maybe doing yard work, grounding your energy. That way, I feel like it will really be helpful, because otherwise you guys could just spin off. If you start your day without grounding spiritually first, it can be super stressful. This stress card can come up for you. Let me pull up another card. The going with the flow card is coming in antidote with that. So breathe deeply. All you have to figure out is this one day, right? You don't have to figure out the whole big picture. You get the download for what do I feel guided to do today? And if you need to break it down smaller than that, what do I feel guided to do this hour? Or what do I feel guided to do these next 10 minutes, right? If you feel stressed out and you don't know how to start something, where to start something, breathe deeply, allow yourself to get into a flow and seek inner guidance. Don't let yourself get distracted by your mind. Your mind can pull you off track, other people wanting you to do things, little nagging things. Just make sure that you're in a centered space, that you start your day off in a centered space, that you ground yourself, Aries, and this will help dissipate this stress energy that you can let yourself just be caught up in. And it might be good to take a step back from the media this week. Maybe don't watch the news. And put yourself into spiritual practice, put yourself into this beautiful Venusian creative flow energy instead. I think that would be a better way to spend your time, doing creative projects, doing gardening, grounding yourself out in some way, even cleaning up and organizing your homes. I get tackling that stack of to-do things, Aries, and just, what can you do to eliminate your stress? What is causing you sort of a daily stress? If it's a pile or a stack of stuff, go through that stack. Just get her done. Whatever's looming over your head that you've been meaning to do, that karmic pattern again that's being wrapped up, Aries, go ahead and solve it. Go ahead and finish it up. Go ahead and make today the day that you're going to get started on that. If you're already in the middle of something, just what's the next step, the next thing to push your way through to make something come to full fruition. Okay, so that's what I have for Aries. Stop and take a sip. All right, Taurus. Listening to my own advice. I'm an Aries. So I'm going to stop and breathe deeply. Of course, with the sun moving into Aries, we have the spring equinox, right? And the new beginnings going on in the sign of Aries. So it's usually a good time for Aries. Add that. All right, Taurus. You guys have the moment to moment card. This is the same kind of a guidance. It's like, what today do you feel guided to do? What today can you do to take the next step and move forward? I also feel this card strongly in spiritual practices, physical discipline. What are you building? Are you working to build something? Like, I feel like Tauruses need to also get their feet and hands, like you guys also may be working in the garden, hammer and nail. Is there something that needs to be repaired, needs to be fixed, Tauruses? I don't know, you may be working to fix something, to build something, to work on a project, continue, feel like you want to bring a, I feel like Tauruses, you want to bring a project through to completion, to finish up something you've already started, rather than just start something. It's like, let's finish what I've already started. I'm going to work on this. Or it could be taking action on a project you've been thinking about and haven't actually taken action yet. Depending on who you are, you're at different stages of this development. But for all Tauruses, it's what today do I do? If it's just been ideas, how do I start taking action on it? If you're already in the middle of doing it, what's the next thing that I need to do to build this thing I'm working on? I feel like there's some really wonderful creative projects that Tauruses are involved on that are going to really take you far. It's a great time to play instruments, dance, be creative. Tauruses usually are creative people. I see painting. You may be deciding on paint colors for your house or decorating your walls, redecorating, rearranging your room. These are the things I see that Taurus can be involved in. It feels like it's a pretty happy week. Like it feels like there's good news, joy, happiness for the Tauruses this week. Relief, feeling good about what you're doing, how you're putting energy into the world, feeling like that you're being productive and getting things done. All right, we move on to the Geminis. All right, the source card's coming up for the Gemini. This is the divine energy. You will feel the impact of the divine in your life this week. So this is like miracles happening, having the energy to put into what you want, having big ahas, reveals. If you've been needing clarity, it is here for you this week, Gemini. Creative energy. You may be writing something new. You may be putting things together. It just feels like you're in a beautiful, powerful place, feeling good. That energy is there when you can put that Gemini mind, like put it aside, let yourself just tune into your spirit, the energy that's in, that permeates the universe, that's in all things. This is like getting the best bang for your buck out of spiritual practices this week, Gemini. Like you can just feel like the levitating guru this week, Geminis. It's a great week for spiritual growth, insights, development. Powerful week. Something powerful is going to happen this week, like powerful reveals, miracles happening, things beyond your ability to make them happen. It's a good week. All right, Cancers. I'm just feeling that the Cancer's been going through it. It's been rough, Cancers. So sorry. I've been feeling everything. The sun in Pisces. Cancers usually feel everything to start with. It's been, the dial has been turned up. The Tower card is coming up, which kind of echoes what I was feeling. It's like, oh my God, you're not, wherever you are now, just repeat after me. This too shall pass, right? It's like you're in the middle of a major transformation here with the Tower card. It says the Thunderbolt. This is, notice though that there's people jumping ship and jumping out of the tower and lightning bolts going and crazy, but look, in the middle of this there's this person sitting in meditation, right? So your power also is in plugging into spiritual practices and just knowing that anything that's going on in the world, anything that's going on with your physical body, anything that's going on around you can all be temporary and transitory, right? We're always going through changes. And so what never changes? That may be just a point to meditate on. What within me never changes, right? Our physical body ages and deteriorates and breaks down, and what never changes? The spirit that moves us, the fact that we're breathing, our blood is pumping through our veins. There may be health crisis stuff going on. Like you guys might be on the verge of losing it because it feels like you've already like really another powerful week where it's going to be intensive. Yeah, but you can deal with it. Breathe deeply and often. Ask yourself, what this moment do I need to do? Where do I need to put your energies? I feel like also in speaking up this week, Cancers, speaking your truth, even though chips may fly, well, let the chips fly where they may. Like you need to do what is right for you. Again, I'm drawn to the centered meditative pose in the middle of this tower. Just drop into the stillness. You may have to be meditating or chanting or praying more than usual this week to find that center, but there is power within. All the stuff that is not needed in your life is being taken away. If you've got a block, an obstacle that's being removed for you, or you're having to go through a difficult obstacle course right now, it's meant to strengthen you. There's higher forces at play. I feel like you may be behind the veil. May not be able to see where this is all leading or why is this happening. You will have this revealed at some point, and you know do things to soothe the fire within, like soak in the tub this week if you can. Stand in the shower, go sit by um, water sounds, turn on the sounds of water, oceans, waterfalls, mountain streams, whatever does it for you could really be helpful. You might have to just play that as background music all week long. Playing music, writing in a journal to get this fiery stuff out may really be helpful for you this week. But this too shall pass. It won't always feel like this. That's what I know. It could be the week, though, of like major transformation. And you look back on this week going, wow, I can't believe that all these things changed in 1 week. It could be more than one thing, and maybe why it's feeling so intensive, Cancers. All right. We'll have Leos next. All right. There's just this happy energy I'm feeling with Leos. La, 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 la. I don't know if you've just walked away from something and you're feeling like, okay, I'm just going to follow my own voice. I'm going to listen to myself. You've got the stress card going on too. So it does feel like there is a need to walk away from stressful situations and focus on what makes you happy. If something is causing you stress on a regular basis, what can you do to remove yourself from this energetic? What can you look at it differently? I feel like Leos, you may be creating stress for yourself by how you're thinking about things. The change card is, I'm going to bring that second card up for Leos. So you're in a transformation period. There is good things happening. There is this joy happening. Like, I feel like you guys may be leaving the stress of being alone behind, and a new relationship can be coming in. A creative project is getting going, a change in your job or work situation that feels good or awesome. Planning a trip for the future. These are things that are coming up with a Leo. But I'm also seeing the la 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 la. Don't ignore something that could be dangerous too, like for you. Listen to intuition. I feel like the Leos could go off half cocked because they're just la 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 this week. It's like, pay attention to your intuition. Does it feel like the right time to go? Does it feel like the right time to do something? Does it feel like it's the right time to call someone, to take that action? Okay. Virgos. The Virgos. Let's See what's going on in Virgo world besides overthinking. I have one fly out. Virgos are exhausted. That's not the card I want to cut on. This is the maturity card. So this card is about self-care. This card is the card I see when it's time to nurture yourself. Look at the mirror into yourself. How can you up the volume on your self-care? Is that soaking in the tub? Is that using essential oils? Is that lighting candles? Is that going for walks out in nature? Is that, what do you need to tend to take care of yourself? Virgos are service oriented. You may be doing too much for others and not enough for you, is kind of what it feels like. That may be why the exhaustion card popped out. Virgos, that you need to replenish yourself. This is the week to like start growing new things. And I'm seeing the flowers all over this card. There's like flowers everywhere too. So there's this flowering, blooming, blossoming of something new. So again, could be a creative idea starting, something you want to journal, write about. You may be planting flowers. There may be a lot of people working in their gardens this week. It's like the beginning of spring. Plant flowers, buy flowers, draw flowers, paint flowers. There's something about flowers with Virgos too. And your life is flowering. It does feel like you're moving into a really prosperous time, Virgos. We're all moving into spring, but it feels like you're really feeling it. The end of winter and the beginning of a new year. All right, Libras. Libras, relationship stuff feels really good. That's what I'm getting. Like this Venus Sun conjunction is really good for the Libra. All right. So the politics card is showing up for Libras. The politician is someone who shows you two different faces, neither one of which are who they really are. That's what the meaning behind this card is. So it's a red flag. Watch out for those situations, people that you don't trust. There may be cray stuff coming out of the mouth of the politicians this week that may upset you, Libras. Don't let it. If you are in a relationship with someone toxic, it's time to step away, step out. You don't have to convince someone else of their toxicity. You don't have to try to show someone else what they're doing. You just need to see it. This person's toxic. This person's cray. I need to move. I need to shift. The We of the World card is coming as well, Libras. So this is the ultimate in potentiality. Anything's possible. Make sure your thoughts, your feelings, you're expecting the best case scenario, not the worst. I feel like you may be afraid of making changes, may be afraid of taking action, may be afraid of speaking your truth, going for what you want. There's a connection. I love this card. It's such a beautiful card. Connect all these people connecting around the globe. You may be connecting with people around the globe, international connections, making plans to travel internationally. This is, and it can just be a symbolic image of that anything's possible, everything's possible. You can work together. Things could be a win-win in your life, in your relationships, in the things that you're moving towards. There's also this dancing on the earth that all these people are doing. So you may also enjoy literally dancing. And it could be also planting flower, just like I feel like maybe everybody needs to get out and work in their gardens this week. It would be a good week for it. Planting new seeds. I think it's a great time for springtime energy, the equinox, to plant seeds. Literally, it's a great time for spiritually planting seeds, psychically planting seeds, planting the seeds in new relationships. Like a new moon, the equinox is a place where you can decide what you want for this next new year starting in the spring. So it can be a powerful new beginning time. But particularly for the Libras, everybody, I believe, but that really was coming up during the Libra. Okay, Scorpio. The comparison card, Scorpio. You are good enough by yourself. You don't have to be the bamboo that's comparing yourself to an oak tree, the oak tree trying to compare yourself to the bamboo. Who you are, what you are is enough. You don't need to compare yourself to another situation, but it may be the card that's representing you are in a situation that does not fit you well, a relationship, a work environment, a home, a place that's not conducive to your best growth, but you're on your own timer. You don't have to, I think this is true for anybody, but all Scorpios that you need to do is compare yourself to how you were yesterday. Did you move forward in some way in your life? Don't compare yourself with anybody else. I'm too old. I'm not yet. I'm too young. I'm too fat. I'm too thin. I'm too whatever. I don't have enough education. I have too much. Like whatever it is, don't compare yourself to anything outside yourself. What can you do within you to beef up your self-esteem, to let yourself know that you're loved, that you're enough? The sharing card is the second card I'll pull for the Scorpios. If you're caught too much up in yourself, giving to others, helping someone else out may get you out of yourself enough to see this spirit and this flow of bringing the light to others, helping another out in some form or fashion. This is a beautiful card, this sharing card, right? So she's got this candle. She's bringing people light. She's bringing people food. She's got the flowers going on. She's this wise, eccentric woman bringing art, creativity, being herself, being her unique self. So you just be you, Scorpios, and know that that's all you have to do is be your best self. Okay. Sagittarius. I'm also getting like this fatigue, exhaustion. It's like, when's things going to shift for me? It's been too long. The guidance card is coming. So you guys are going to get some very clear intuition downloads in terms of how to take action in your life, what you're supposed to be doing next, where you're supposed to be putting your energies. There's a strong sense of guidance. Your dreams may be super vivid this week, Sagittarius. Feeling like angels may be there helping you, supporting you. There's this angelic realm energy that I feel is strong with the Sagittarius this week, feeling like you're being lifted and carried. You're being shown things that maybe you don't even want to see, are afraid to see. Like, oh, I don't want to know. The universe is really showing you, okay, you can be carried. You can let the universe help you. Let your angels come in and lift you up. Let insights come through. It feels like you're trying to figure something out. Just get out of your brain. Ask yourself, what do I feel guided to do right now? That's all that you need to do, and that is good enough. There's also this healing energy. Yeah, I think everybody should be out in their gardens this week, apparently. And like, there's just this wonderful energy of working with the earth that I'm just seeing consistently showing up again and again and again. So that's going to be true for almost all of us. Get outside, plant new things, dig up the earth, play in the dirt, ground yourself, walk barefooted on the earth. Maybe take a swim. Is the weather going to be nice enough to swim? Take a swim, Sagittarius. Okay. Capricorns. I'm getting a bit of depression, frustration, feeling stuck. Capricorns. Feels like you've been working hard. When's it all going to come together? This week, you're going to see signs of things coming together this week, the participation, like getting some help. Maybe you need to ask for help. Maybe you're trying to do everything by yourself. and you just need to ask for someone to come and help you. Um, you can start by asking from help from the divine, from higher self, from your guides, from angels presence. But I feel like this is literal, physical, working together with other people. It may be creating a team. It may be connecting to get a project done. Like, yeah, you're not an island. You can get a lot accomplished on your own, but this is the week, it feels like, Caps, that you need to work with other people. It's best to allow yourself to be part of a bigger whole. You can just do your part. It's good enough. And say something. Like, if you're doing all the work and others aren't contributing that are in your life and in your environment, you may get the insight, the guidance, the channel. Let's all do this. Let's do it this way. You may even think of a game to like make something fun. You may want to get together and play games, like do a board game, do, poker, do something where you're working with others. That's fun. You may going to hear a band play with a group of friends. You may be forming a band. You may be practicing with a band. There's just this energy of beautiful unity, participation. There's like 4 different people coming together, or 4 hands. So that's 2 people with 2 hands coming together. There's help on the way this week, Capricorn, if you just ask for it. Or just look up. Like, I don't even feel like some Capricorns are going to have to definitely ask for the help, but I get that others are just, you're kind of ignoring the help that's already there. There's resources available. All right, Aquarians. Aquarius. The schizophrenia card. So this is a separation. I don't always see this as, that you're cray cray, but you can be feeling cray cray, Aquarius. You can feel split down the middle about something. You're torn between 2 different things, or you may be away, having to be away from someone you love or something you love. You're separated from it in some way, but you're split down the middle right now, Aquarius is. Let's see what the guidance card is. The Buddha card, consciousness, is coming up. This is a spiritual dilemma at its core. Connecting with spirit, being one, upping your spiritual practices this week, more time spent meditating, more time spent praying, chanting, channeling, will help you feel whole and complete within yourself, and be able to get the insight and direction. I see the 3rd eye really activated here with this Buddha and this constellation within. It's like needing to get an objective perspective. Like, I feel like just pulling away from the situation that's making you feel torn down the middle, making you feel cray cray, and being still enough to let an information come in about what to do next, what your next step is, getting insight, getting direction, letting the clouds part so you can see clearly. So you are getting an answer to a problem this week. There's a resolution. This feels like healing. It feels like divine clarity around a situation that's really been frustrating, really been tearing yourself into 2 pieces. Or like you're in the middle of a move and you can really just stop and breathe in the middle of it. And I just feels like you need to shake off power stress that's like loaded down on your shoulders right now, Aquarius. You can only do what you can do, and then you just turn it over and let go of it. All right, and last but not least, we have the Pisces. All right, something just flew out. The no thingness card flew out. This is the blank clean slate, the new beginning. You can paint on it what you want. This is the blank canvas. What do you want to paint? What do you want to start? What you want to do? You can do it, Pisces. Yeah. There's some intensive stuff coming up. I mean, all this stellium is in your sign, so you may have some gunk from your past surfacing. So it's surfacing in order to create this new, I think this is the card that should be after this one. This is the problem. This is the solution. You feel stuck, you feel locked down. Could be a problem with intimacy, sexuality. There's healing coming. There's a new beginning, a new answer to be painted on. Is there anything else? No, that's it. That's the answer here, is to start a new project, begin writing in your journal, paint on a canvas. It's almost like distracting the mind. Like it feels like you're so overthinking something, getting so caught up in something, feeling so sorry for yourself. I mean, with reason, it feels like you've been through something rough, but you've got to step out of this victim role and empower yourself. What can I do to shift this? What can I do to change this? What new thing can I start with this energy of the spring coming this week that can help? And start putting the first bead on a necklace, right? You don't have to put the whole necklace together. You just can put the first bead on. You can plant the first little plant in your garden. You don't have to dig up the whole garden. You can dig up one little spot and plant one little thing. I feel like you're feeling overwhelmed, depressed, frustrated right now. And so there's solution, the insights, what you need to download is here this week. Yeah. Karmic stuff is up for everyone, but especially the Pisces, because this Pisces represents karma. So you guys are going to be feeling it the strongest with all the stellium in Pisces in your sign. So for everyone, this is a wrap-up week of karmic lessons. It's an opportunity to start new things, new habits, new behaviors, new friendships, new relationship with yourself, new habits. It can be a challenge and tested week. Go within, listen to spirit, reach out in prayer and meditation and chanting to connect with the divine within you, the divine in other people. You may be praying for others strongly this week. And just feel guided. Listen to who or what pops on your radar. Listen to the little whisperings of your intuition and spirit. Again, for some people, that volume is really loud. You can't ignore the intuition you get. For other people, it's little whispers. It's easy to ignore whispers and not hear it completely. If you're hearing a little whisper, that may be the time when you need to stop what you're doing, close your eyes, go get in the tub, get in a quiet place so you can listen to what you're being guided to do. When you listen to your intuition and take action based on it, it is the GPS system that will guide you correctly into your life. And when you're listening to your intuition and you're taking action based on your intuition, there's a flow, or an organic flow, that happens in your life. That's true for everyone. When you're not listening to your intuition, when you're trying to figure out and rationalize everything out, you end up running into the brick walls, the red lights, the stop signs, the impasses. And some of those impasses are meant to redirect you, right? They're not trying to stop you from getting what you want. If you keep getting the brick walls, the impasses, the red lights, stop, ask yourself, okay, am I supposed to be approaching this from a different way? What insights do I need to have about this situation? Right? This is the week where we can change our karmic ruts that we fall into and lay down a new foundation and begin new things. So hopefully you'll have a wonderful week. Hopefully the surprise headlines won't be about you or your life. It'll be about someone else or something else. Hopefully you'll be peaceful. You'll jam on the psychic downloads, the spiritual energy, the Venus conjunct Sun energy, tap into those energies and not the cray-cray mercurial stuff that's going on in the planet, right? You have the power to put your attention on what you want to focus on. What you put your attention on grows and gets louder. So put your attention on your inner voice, your higher spirit, spiritual things, and it'll feel good, right? You want to feel good, right? Right. Peace.